my fellow groaners. Here we have episode number 19 this week. It is upon us. And with that, we have a packed show once again. This week, the 5-point countdown returns to baffle all of us once again. Well, not me, because, of course, I know the answer already. Oh, unlucky also pops up again this week. And with that being said, let us get straight into everything with my Groan 3-piece for this week. And some of them are quite wordy, boys, so do bear with me. Groan number 1. When you buy chips, and instead of putting the seasoning packet on the top, somewhere you can see it, they bury it in amongst the chips, so you assume it isn't there. Going on ahead, you then cook them, and then after you pull it out of the air fryer or the oven or whatever, you then find a burnt packet of salt and pepper. When you're manufacturing, you just put it on top of the chips, or stick it to the side so it can be seen before someone puts the tray in the air fryer or the oven. I know some people would probably just pour the chips out, but I cook using the trays, so it'd be a bit simpler to do that. Groan number 2. When you are given attitude by a checkout worker just because you have a big shop and it's near the end of their shift. I'm sorry, but as a customer, I am allowed to use your lane if you're open. You're getting paid to work, so if you haven't got anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. If you were shutting your lane, you should have said, and I would have moved on before unloading my trolley. You're getting paid to work, so therefore do your job. And just smile and accept it. Then after I've left, you could have just closed your lane. Simple, really. Now, Groan 3, and this is a double groan for eBay. First one, unable to cancel bids on eBay. I made 2 bids for different items on eBay and won both. However, I was unable to cancel one due to the way eBay works. I know the seller can, the bidder cannot. Why not just make it easier with a cancel bid option if you find a better buy now option or similar? It saves wasting time, saves the seller's money and time, saves the buyer having to send on an item which the person didn't even want in the first place, more than likely. Just keeps everything nice and simple. Second part, sellers on eBay who do not communicate. So I bid on an item put up for sale. I asked a question and I also made a bid. Still didn't get a reply. I then won said item. Still didn't get a reply. After a week, they then sent the item, again with no apology or communication. I mean, do they want negative feedback or something like that? What is wrong with writing, oh, no problem, or I've acknowledged, or just saying a sorry? Quite simple, really. But that is my groans out the way this week. That's my chest fully empty. Now then, here we go on to the 5-point countdown for this week. Everyone playing along live at the moment, eyes down for the first clue. If you're listening along after it's been recorded and published, pause at your leisure. But remember, start at 5 points. You get to 1, you still haven't got it, you get 0 points. Just to repeat and reiterate, if you've guessed at clue number 5 correctly, but then you change your answer to clue number 4, that doesn't mean you still win. If you change your answer, you get no points. Okay, here we go. Clue number 5. I am often used to alert people to something without sound. Just waiting for the answers to pop in on the group. People are thinking there. A couple of answers have thrown in there. Okay. Okay. Clue number 4. I can be made up of many shapes and sizes. There, a couple of people are baffled. Don't worry, you might get it in a couple of clues' time. Okay. So, some people are still a bit baffled. Clue number 3. I can be made of many materials. Some people are just writing their answers down there. Okay. There's an answer there. Okay, clue number 2. I can be placed indoors and outdoors. I think some people are cutting down to what it is. Yeah. Okay, and the last clue. Without me, there would be many workplace accidents. Yep, some people are definitely cutting on to what it is now. Okay, we will come back to the answer at the end of the show. Now we have the audience groan, and this week comes in from a random guy on Northumberland Street in Newcastle, and his groan was people that can wear hats and look good. Now when he said that, I was a little bit baffled, but then he kind of made sense. I've never had a fashion groan from someone before, but I suppose it depends on your style of hat and the shape of your head. An interesting groan there. I mean, I like that. Seems hats make our fellow groaner here look silly for some reason, because when he said he puts a hat on, it rides up his head slowly and then pops off. Maybe try wearing a hat that's big enough for your head though. Thanks for that. Moving on. If you have a groan you want off your chest, a Zero of the Week nomination, or an Oh Unlucky nomination, you can send it into the show in a number of ways. You can find the Groan Zone on Discord as the Groan Zone Podcast, via Facebook groups under the Groan Zone Podcast. You can hit me a groan personally to Mr. E. Groaner on Facebook Messenger. And lastly, you can fire off an email to the groanzonepod@gmail.com. Speaking of Oh Unlucky, this week's unlucky person was a guy who had his football ticket eaten by his dog. Yep, a poor Newcastle fan had his cup final tickets absolutely shredded by his 11-month-old dog. Now, I hate football, so I don't really care, but I was more worried about the dog. The poor dog was severely in the doghouse. Sorry, bad pun, I know. Fortunately though for the Newcastle fan, United said they could help and provided replacements at Wembley. Fortunate, yet so unlucky at the same time. However, happy ending, the dog has now since been forgiven. I mean, come on, you can't stay mad at a dog forever, can you? It's just a dog, bless it. Now this week's Zero of the Week, you may or may not agree with. I'm not singling her out, I'm not against her or anything else, even though at times I do find her annoying, but then again at the same time she does have a point. But I think she might also be a bit of a hypocrite at the same time. Case in point, Greta Thunberg. Yes, I just heard many people go, "Oh, he's jumping on the Greta Thunberg wagon." No, I'm not. She campaigns for green energy, but yet now protests against wind farms. Now, last time I checked Greta, they were green energy. Might not be so green to produce, but then again, so are some of their like hybrid cars. They're not ecological to produce, and they're not good for the environment with all parts going over the world. But you can't have it both ways. Wind farms are a green energy, so why are you going against them for, Greta? There's no need. You have to have somewhere to put them. You can't put them on top of people's houses. Unfortunately, it's in a natural beauty spot. It's somewhere where there's lots of wind to gain traction for energy. So I'm sorry, Greta, you're in the wrong. I am so sorry. But for your double standards, you are blessed with Zero of the Week dishonours this week. Now lastly, moving on there, just to simply say, you've probably all been wondering what was the 5-point countdown answer. It is quite simply a sign. Yep, someone did write a warning sign. I'll give them that answer. So they get, when they guess where it was, they get those points. On that note, we wrap the show up for another week. Don't forget, you can leave comments and follow the podcast on its original home on the Podbean webpage. Oh, and just to let you all, everybody, after episode 20, the podcast will land on Apple Podcasts. Yes, I've finally made my mind up. I'm going to put it on there as well, because I know some people have been asking us via email, are you going to put it on there? Some people have asked us in person, are you going to put it on there? I said it would take a bit longer to think about it, but after episode 20, it's going on there. And on that note, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, keep on groaning. Bye.